decision won't change my identity, but regardless of what is decided, I will certainly no longer be able to work. Already it has been difficult. Perception is everything. Tomorrow morning, someone, perhaps the same man who dropped me here, tall and dressed entirely in white, will come to fetch me. I will walk the long, undecorated corridors in this formerly neutral complex and stand before the International Criminal Court. There will be no jury. The prosecutors will be caustic and provocative. They will, I have been warned, make this personal. I have nothing to hide. Some of the newspapers are making me out to be some kind of evil genius, as if this, global destruction was my plan all along. For the ash falling now to be simply the foreshadowing for the end of it all. Imagine! No parent could want that. I read it all, naturally, but I am rather surprised to find myself unaffected by the criticisms. I have been known to be quite vain. But all of that doesn't reflect me, after all. I am just a prism through which opinions refract. There are journalists who defend my name, just the genius, no evil, but for the most part, the ones controlling the newspapers are against me. If it was June in the public eye, it would be much worse for her. And then I have my fans, some of whom I saw with their homemade placards on the drive-in from the airport. I'd say there were at least 100 of them, most of them younger than me. I noticed one man, dressed quite smartly, holding a sign that said, "Do not destroy what you cannot create," each letter a thick black brushstroke. This is a line from a speech I gave against nuclear weapons several years ago, and thus represents a rather niche and zealous fandom. I hadn't expected such a welcome. Many of them must have come from a long way away. We don't know how long the trial will go on, so how long, I wonder, do they plan to stay? I imagine the families they left behind, the jobs, the sums of money they must be spending on their sad little hotel rooms, and for what? What do they expect of me? What outcome would they find the least disappointing? My room smells of damp wool. It hasn't rained today. The dampness must be coming from the humidity of the water, though I can't see it from here, I know. The walls are grey-painted bricks, and I immediately noticed a chip in the paint revealing the rust-coloured rock beneath. The criminals who stay in this room aren't here long enough to require a fresh paint job, nor are they in a position to complain. It's a tiny room, but I've been living in hotels or in transit for most of my life. I can't leave, but I don't feel trapped. My mind has always been free. I know that what you're interested in is the bomb, but I can't tell you about that without telling you about everything that came before. I may as well start at the beginning. Children are born with an inquisitive mind, which is to say the mind of a scientist, and I assume that I became one because in some ways I remained a child. I can see myself as I was then, the same dark eyes, the same curly hair, but of a shade so dark it absorbed colour rather than presented it, unlike the bright grey I live with now. I can inhabit my young body and feel its smallness. I can see my hands, half the size of these hands, and move them around, playing with my toys, cutting up my breaded chicken with a knife and fork. I was very sensitive and somewhat high-strung. It wasn't easy for me to be around people I hadn't met before. My first years of school were especially hard. How will I ever know that they really know me? I asked my mother, who was beautiful, like a drawing from a children's book. She said, "You'll never really know, August. You just have to try. You have to send a little boat across the water from your island to theirs." I tried this. I trusted her. This is what I thought of every time I met a new person for many years, until the conscious thought became so learned by my body that it was unconscious habit. I was the island, and I was the boat. My mother had a way of loving us that didn't get in the way. Her love was something I never had to worry about. For all that I would give to bring her back, I am grateful she isn't here now to see what has become of me. I wouldn't be able to explain. She used to read my brother and sister and me these tales of apocalypse, dark stories that inculcated us with a fear of the future and an addiction to truth. Her voice was so gentle, but the worlds she conjured were so terrible.